This work is clearly not about housing. It's about building vibrant communities where all types of people can live next to each other in what we call true and genuine neighborhoods. Housing is just the organizing point. This is a comment I made to Marty some time ago, Marty Bell. It's the mechanism that I think we have all chosen in this room to have an impact on the human condition. And that's because we know that having a home affects every single aspect of our lives and everything that we do, and not having one, of course, would devastate even the strongest among us. The Planning Office has developed 2,300 units of housing, providing homes to more than 10,000 people. This is, by the way, our 40th year anniversary, and we'll be celebrating that December 10th at Hotel Commonwealth, and you're all welcome to join us. But that is what we do. And I just want to say a couple of words. We were asked to think about a bit of our vision maybe for what's coming. That's what we do. Now, who will we need to help, and what is our vision for the future? What strikes me first about that, I guess, is that most people these days keep saying, when will things return to normal? And when will the economy become normal? When will our industry return to normal? But as we emerge from this unusual, I think, recession, we're facing a very different set of circumstances and what some are calling a new normal. It will be like something I think that we've never seen before. And yet again, we're experiencing a jobless recovery where the economy begins to grow, but we're still losing jobs. Only this one, I think, is going to be much more severe, is more severe than what we saw in 2001 and 2003. And it seems like we will be faced with long periods of unemployment despite modest economic gains for a while. In his remarks, I think David might tell us about decades of housing policy, possibly, to help us understand the context and the opportunity we have for change. For my part, I'm just going to go back as far as last month. Unemployment was 9.8% in September, compared with a peak rate of 6.3% in the summer of 2003. A staggering 7.2 million jobs were lost in the last 21 months, compared to 2.7 million jobs in the years between 2001 and 2003. And underemployment, the measure of people working part-time because they can't find full-time jobs, was 17% in September, compared with about 10.5% in the last recession. So none of this is news to you, clearly. And the only reason I bring it up is what it means for our work. Affordable housing in the context of a jobless recovery, of this particular jobless recovery and how severe it is, will be very different. And if we're not aware of that and getting ready for it, then we won't be up to the task. We can't think about the future now unless we think about or talk about the people we serve, and those are the middle income and the very poor. There will be a redefinition of the profile of people needing affordable housing, with more and more middle class and working families losing their jobs. We're seeing the middle class evaporate or be very severely distressed at an alarming rate, and that means we need a different kind of housing. As Barney Frank has been telling us forever, we need more affordable rental housing. And as Sean Donovan told many of us at the Chapel dinner last week. So we need more focus on workforce housing. And I think that does mean we need more collaboration between the nonprofit and the private sectors. In addition to that, I just can't wrap up without making a couple of comments about this. In addition to the new poor middle class with very uncertain futures, there are, of course, the very poor. There are 37 million Americans living in poverty today, presenting a moral crisis of extreme proportions. As Father Schneider, the president of Catholic Charities USA, once said, "Poverty is a threat to the common good and future strength of our nation." And he goes on to remind us that poverty is a human-made disaster. It is not a force of nature beyond our control, but the result of economic, social, and political choices that we Americans have made. We can make different choices, and just as we need to find new ways to house the new middle class in this new normal, we need to increase our collective commitment to housing the very poor. As the economy recovers, there will be a need for more deeply affordable housing and, sadly, much more opportunity for us to be very busy in the future to try to provide that. I think, as David may point out, though, that structural change often happens in economic turmoil. So this is a good thing. As we're trying to figure out the silver lining here, this is a good thing, and it is an opportunity. My objective in talking about poverty and stressed middle class is really not to drag us down during this terrific conference, but simply to remind us about why we're here. We're here for the 480 plus residents who did not get an apartment in the lottery at St. Aidan's, and for everyone they represent. But here's the hopeful part. With the Democratic Congress and funding for the National Affordable Housing Trust on the horizon, hopefully, and the possibility of Section 8 reform and other initiatives, we are on track. We just need to persevere, and with people like my colleagues at the office, David Smith, and everyone here in this room, I think we will. Thank you very much.